Hi everyone, my name is Natalie Ledwell and this is The Inspiration Show. Today on the show I have a very good friend of mine. Please welcome Alicia Lynn Diaz. How are you, Alicia?
Hi, Natalie. So great to be here. Thanks for having me.
I am so glad that I finally get you on The Inspiration Show. We've known each other for years and this is the first time we're doing this, which is just crazy. Uh, Now, Alicia is actually the founder of the Inner Mastery Process, and she does a lot of work with both men and women when it comes to health, emotions, body health, like the whole gamut. And you have an amazing summit that we want to talk about, a healing summit that's coming up as well. But before we get into all of our juicy conversation about how people can really, elevate the health in their life, why don't we start a little bit about your journey and how you got to this point and doing what you do.
Yeah, beautiful. So, my story started back when I was actually working as a clinician in New York City. I was running a clinic as a physiologist, and I was teaching at a university. And so I was really steeped in academia and health from more of a Western perspective. And around that time in my life, I got really sick, actually. I had a lot of debilitating health stuff that just was any of the Western doctors that I went to, I just kept hitting dead ends. And really what it ended up being was these physical symptoms and physical, real, true disease processes and imbalances that were happening as a result of kind of a PTSD-like reaction in my body. So I had suffered from some emotional and physical sexual trauma when I was a young girl. And so these memories were repressed, and all of the emotions associated with that kind of trauma were repressed in my system. And then through the process of the way that body, mind, spirit kind of interacts together. Again, I didn't know this at the time, but it was all coming out in physical symptoms. So I was really frustrated because I was already kind of an alternative healthcare practitioner, and yet I still couldn't find the answers to what was causing me so much pain. So I ended up studying yoga and meditation, and I got a really blessed opportunity to study with this world-renowned Ayurvedic healer in India. And he was the doctor to the Dalai Lama and the Mother Teresa. So he was very, very, very steeped in spiritual wisdom and a very ancient lineage that's native to India. And so I got to apprentice with him in his clinic and start to really see how these mind, body, spirit approach was radically healing people from things that Western medicine says you can't heal from. And so I started seeing these transformations with my own eyes and making some of these connections on how this merges with science as we know it in the modern world. He ended up kind of connecting me to my next mentor, who I went and got an advanced practitioner's degree as an Ayurvedic practitioner, a holistic health practitioner essentially. And so then I got to start practicing these tools with clients in my own practice. But this has created great passion inside of me to merge science and spirituality, to merge, not just the body-mind medicine that's really popular right now, but how to bring in these other aspects of emotional healing and connecting with that aspect of ourselves that's beyond words.
Yeah, because it's amazing now, like all the research, and we do a lot of work with Dr. Joe Dispenza, the science, and I think when people understand the science behind what's happening, it gives you more belief and more understanding of how we can heal our own bodies. I mean, by the sounds of things of your story, like, doesn't it just astound you at how amazing our bodies are at safeguarding us, which is clearly what was happening. It sounds like it was happening with you. You had these repressed memories, but your body was stepping in and trying to safeguard you from all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to think, I used to feel tremendous pain that would leave me curled up for hours. I had these intense migraines and a lot of digestive problems and problems in my reproductive system, so that I would just be closed up for so long, and it would really make me want to disassociate from the pain. All I wanted to do was get away from the pain. And I came to realize that this sensation in our body that we call pain is actually a gift. It's actually a messenger. It's trying to get our attention to tell us, this is something that's happening here. You need to pay attention. And it wasn't until I kind of uncoded interpreted this language that the body was speaking in that I started to understand the messages and then reveal the gift beneath that.
Right. So when you're working with people, depending on how a disease or illness or something is manifesting in their body, is that how you can determine where it came from in the first place?
Yeah, one of the big things that I teach in the inner mastery process you mentioned, it's about finding the root cause. So as you know, and probably your viewers are really connected to like what we think and our beliefs, you know, create our reality. Well, our inner world creates our outer world. So when it comes to health, it's really getting clear on mastering these inner tools that allows us to then transform the outer experience of health.
Right. Because it sounds like the work that you do is not like just exercise and diet. It's something much deeper than that.
Right. So, okay, so this is more where your question was going. So there's essentially, you want to look at, you know, there's a belief system that you're having about health. So there's an internal, the way that you experience your health beliefs from the inside, as well as how those beliefs then guide your actions on the outside. And then there's the whole realm of emotion. So internally, if you're not connected to emotion or you have repressed emotion, which we all do, we're human beings, and even if you didn't experience like a really traumatic something in your past of any kind, just as a function of living in this society, we're kind of taught to repress our emotions, to not, you know, be too dramatic and not express. Like there's not a healthy relationship that we have with mastering emotions, and there's a very important piece there when it comes to health in terms of how to transmute those emotions and move them so that the channels of the body don't get constricted and tied up. So the mind, the emotions, how the emotions happen inside and how you express them outside, and then also the spirit aspect. You know, there's actually a lot of studies now that are showing that like the whole field of epigenetics is about the expression of your genes. It's actually on a cellular level, it's like reprogramming your DNA, but it's not even necessarily that you have to go in and restructure the architectural blueprint. The spiritual aspects of healing access beyond DNA. They access your body's ability to express the way that you want your health to be expressed, and it repatterns on an energetic and on a cellular level. So we can talk about the spiritual aspect of healing from, you know, a devotional aspect. You know, the power of prayer and meditation literally create miracles. And if you want to look at it from the scientific perspective, you can look at how energetically reprogramming, you know, your cells and your DNA, or at least the expression of them, can also create radical self-healing.
Yeah, absolutely. So is this hard work?
That's a great question. And yes and no.
Right.
So it's a journey. I mean, it's a lifelong journey, and if you're in a place right now, if you're listening to this, it's easy to think like, whoa, that's a lot of work. Like, I don't even want to, you know, break the ice on that. Like, that's huge. And it can be really simple, though. If I could share one way that it can be very simple, is literally just the practice of moment-to-moment acceptance and moment-to-moment self-love. And that sounds a little woo-woo, a little out there, a little mushy, but hear me out, because when you're able to enter into a timeless space of the here and now, that's where the genetic expression, the DNA, the energy, however you want to look at it, is actually able to manifest. Yeah. So a lot of times our minds get wrapped up in the huge mountain that's before us, which is really just the fear of the future, or our emotions and our mind get wrapped up in all the things that happened in the past, the traumas, the diet that we tried that didn't work, the exercise program that we gave up, and then we layer guilt on top of it. So really the change happens in a moment to moment. And one of the things I teach a lot about is the body's sympathetic nervous system response. Because when you're in that fight, flight, or freeze, it's actually creating constriction in the whole body, versus the parasympathetic response, which creates a dilation of the whole body. So constriction on any level, whether it's physical or energetic, is going to prevent whether the intelligence of the universe to come in and get to where it needs to go, or it's going to literally just prevent nutrients to get where they need to go, oxygen, energy. It's going to prevent waste from leaving, which constriction then causes the waste to build up. So acceptance dilates, and any level of self-love dilates. And self-love literally could just look like, in this moment right now, I'm feeling pain. Like, how can I just breathe in this very moment and just accept the sensation that I'm feeling without creating a story about what it means?
Yeah.
Because then the mind spirals you into this place of, this means, you know, the meaning maker of our mind can spiral us into the negative approach or the negative perspective, which then constricts more. So in every moment-to-moment practice is just the opening, the receiving, the holding yourself, just like you would hold a child who's in pain. You're not making that child wrong for being in pain. You're just soothing them and comforting them. And that actually is one of the things that reprograms and allows the intelligence of life to come in.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think you just hit the nail on the head, because it's a lifelong practice.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's not like you have this monumental mountain in front of you. It's just a day-to-day thing. And even the smallest things, whether you believe in this or not, and I'm assuming that whether they believe in this or not, this still has a positive effect on their body and actually can change their health, right?
True.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So tell me about the summit that you're putting together, because it looks like with the summit, you're really trying to marry science, spirituality, health, new healing modalities all together in a place that anyone who's got any kind of a health ailment of any kind would be able to benefit from something like this.
You got it. Absolutely. So the Soul of Healing Summit, one of our focuses is to help you, teach you how to harness the power of your mind, emotions, and spirit to create radical self-healing. So it really is about the merging of science and spirituality, the merging of all the research and that we know about quantum science, the research that we know about the placebo effect, which is really part of your own body's ability to self-heal and beliefs, and then merge that with some of these ancient traditions and meditation and all of those types of things that really have they're time tested, right? They're thousands of years old, and there's a lot of wisdom there. So it's marrying these two aspects of health and healing into one platform that we can deliver through the interviews with over 30 experts in various fields. So we have people from integrative medicine, people who focus on the DNA and cellular reprogramming, the researchers, people who are experts in the field of mind control, mind medicine, meditation, prayer, things like that, energy medicine, and so on, relationship medicine, lifestyle medicine, and soul medicine. So.
And it sounds like you don't even have to have any kind of an ailment to be able to get amazing information from this.
Absolutely not. This is for the person who is, a proactive health enthusiast, someone who really wants to be at the top of their game. And it's also for the person who, have hit the dead ends like I did years ago, where every doctor is pretty much telling you have no hope. And it's for the person who wants to not only reignite hope, but take their health back, their power back into their own hands.
Awesome. So, so where can we send people if they want to find out more information about that, Alicia?
Yeah, so you can sign up for the summit at soulofhealingsummit.com.
Okay, soulofhealingsummit.com.
Correct.
And guys, if you're watching this online, just click on the banner to the side there. And if you're watching this on the app, click the banner underneath this video, and that'll take you directly through to that site. So, yeah. Alicia, thank you so much for joining me today. It's always a pleasure talking to you. So
thank you so much. So nice to be here.
Wonderful. Thank
All
you.
right.
And
Take
thank you for putting this summit together, because I know it's going to really help a lot of people.
Yeah.
So guys, I encourage you to share this video. Please spread the word, get the word out there. You can do that by clicking the Facebook and the Twitter share buttons on this page. Click on the banners to go through to Alicia's website so you can register for that summit. And then also make sure that you leave your email on the page here so we can send you the Manifesting with a Master's video e-course. So until next time, remember to live large, choose courageously, and love without limits. We'll see you soon.